Hi guys, welcome to Cedric Masterschool Intro webinar. My name is Zadar and I will be your school manager here at Masterschool and I'll be your host for this webinar. So I'm super excited to meet you all and tell you about this one-of-a-kind opportunity that we've created for you and already look forward to seeing you all at the end of the road holding your dream jobs. Also with me here is Marav, who is your student success manager and will accompany you throughout the course. So Marav.
Hello. Hi, everyone. I'm super excited to be here. Enjoy this webinar.
So I know that you guys might have some questions, so please know that on the bottom of your screen, you can find a dedicated Q&A button. So I'd like to kind of invite you to use it throughout our time together, and we will dedicate our last portion of the webinar to provide answers to your questions. So let's get going. Here is our agenda for today. Our first 10 minutes will cover the general overview of the course. During this time, I will introduce you guys to Masterschool and the admissions process. After that, I will elaborate on the core training period and the way our school will operate. From there, we will move on to our career accelerator, where you'll get everything you need to be the best job candidate you can. And of course, to wrap things up, we will answer the questions you send throughout the webinar on our Q&A session. So what is Masterschool all about? Our mission is to ensure that everyone can build inspiring careers as long as they're willing to work for it, regardless of circumstances. We team up with domain masters to create an exceptional learning experience. Our masters are involved in building the curriculum, adjusting the training program to fit the market needs, and choosing the core school values. And of course, their experience and their expertise help us to ensure our students on the right track to get hired and succeed. With myself here, this webinar, we have here Cedric, our school master, and we also have Liat from the team who will help along answering your questions on the chat. On a broader perspective, Masterschool is actually a network of success-based schools. We are based in Israel, and we also have schools in the US and in Germany. Our schools are completely online, and they're based on changing tides of the industry needs to bring you the most up-to-date content out there in all of the different fields you can see here. On top of that, we help our students get jobs. We do this as part of our success-based model. And when we say success-based, it simply means that your success equals our success. Our students don't pay their tuition unless they're hired. In other words, we succeed when you do. We take pride in the fact that our interests are 100% aligned with those of our students. It makes, to be honest, my job much more enjoyable. And I can honestly say that our students always come first. As you can see, we have over 1,000 students worldwide and above 80% job replacement rate, which is our main goal. We are very proud of our graduates who work in leading companies all over the tech industry. And now regarding this specific school, Cedric is our schoolmaster. He is an experienced software engineer, Germany's leading tech influencers. I think that Cedric's passion for teaching is more than evident in his YouTube channels, where he has over 220,000 followers on combined. Cedric is involved in all aspects of the school, of course, from the syllabus to the career accelerator, content, and webinars. I'm very excited to have Cedric with us today. So without any further ado, I'd like to welcome Cedric to tell you guys a bit about himself and what this school means for him. Cedric, mic is yours.
Hi. So first of all, I'd like to give a little overview of why I think this webinar or this master school is perfect for you. So in the IT industry, there are so many open jobs like never before. I think you know this because I always mention the IT security part of this because I am working mostly there, but it's not only IT security where people are needing developers desperately. We are also in need for experienced web developers or new web developers as well, as you are maybe later on. So everyone is trying to digitalize, especially during COVID, of course. And thing is, Germany is only the fifth last place for digitalization in Europe from I think more than 25. So there's much to do in Germany, and we need to like develop web apps, develop stuff to save the energy, to save effort, and to make things easier. I think Germany, as even a country, is desperately needing this. So yeah, why should you do web development? Well, there's a lot of great things of web development that might be interesting. Everything nowadays is on a web page that you visit, or it's on a web, or in like an Android app or an iOS app. And those things are getting more and more together each day. So like earlier, it was like developing a website, developing an Android app, developing an iOS app. Nowadays, you just have like one app for everything. So you have a web app, and this app is, by the way, also downloadable from the Play Store. So yeah, it's much easier that way because you are basically developing like everything, and that's why web developers are the most needed ones in general. So yeah, most jobs in development are in web development, and most jobs in IT are in development. So I think it seems clear that the chance to get a job there, well, it's the easiest one to get into. It's the easiest one to get into when you're new to development, and especially if you are if you do have some experience, and that's what you want to get from this master school. So I think also you can have like huge steps when you get into your job. So basically you're just having fundamentals, you're getting into a job because people are so much in need for developers, and there you just get into so much more. So like I said, you have fundamentals in coding and design, for example. Then you're starting with backend development because you're doing full stack. Then you're starting with I don't know, maybe server administration. Then you're doing DevOps, and suddenly you are like the most needed man or woman in this whole country. So yeah, people are in need for developers. People are in need for tech guys that can work with the things that we all use every day, like apps and web apps. You can also learn more frameworks, more tools in your job, or even here in this master school, I will give you like a broad overview of what you can do, and you can basically decide what's the right thing for you to do. And I think you can get to whatever point you want to reach after you finish this master school without any studies in university. That might be just too much, because yeah, 5 years is just a long time to develop apps in the end. And I think you can get to whatever point you want. And I think that's basically what we all want. We want you to get to that point that you want to reach. So, but there's a few things that you need to consider. You need to be always careful and practice clean coding, because that's like the most important thing that you have when you're working in a team. You need to cooperate with team members, and we will also practice this in this master school, because I think personally this is so important nowadays, and people are forgetting this. We are forgetting it in our university studies. We're forgetting it when doing like a regular Ausbildung, and we want to practice this here. And of course, you need to have a good portfolio, which will also be something that you will build in this master school as well. And if you have any questions, of course, I will be there for you to answer those.
Thank you very much, Cedric. It was inspiring. I will move on to our admission process. So our admission process, some of you might have been accepted to the school while others are in much earlier stages. That's completely fine. However, we're happy for you all to complete the admissions process, keeping in mind that the amount of spaces is limited and frankly filling up quite quickly. For those of you who have been interviewed and are waiting for answers, you will get them in the next few days. To provide some clarity, I will review the different stages of the process, and for every you, we're just getting started. So the first stage is, of course, signing up. The second stage is our personal assessment, which comprises of both technical and personality assessments. The third stage is a personal interview, and all of these stages help us in picking up the best candidates who we believe are here to work hard and commit to this new path. That leads me to our success-based model. So I know some of you may have many questions about it, but honestly, it's pretty simple. You will pay €0 until you find a job earning more than €30,000 annually or 2,500 monthly. Only then you will be paid 10% of your monthly income until you have fully paid the tuition cost of €12,500. After 5 years, you will stop repaying the tuition, even if it wasn't fully refunded. So if you don't find a job earning more than €30,000 annually for 5 years, you pay €0. That's it. There's no fine print. We put your success and our owns at the same basket. So now that we got this covered, I'd like to show you our school structure. Those of you who join us will receive industry-leading support with the help of our professional team. I have already talked about Cedric's role. Myself, as a school manager, will operate the school and ensure the program is running smoothly and constantly improving. Yeah, you'll have a student success manager who you've just met, Merav, who will continue with you to the job finding stage. Academic lead is someone with profound industry experience, making sure everything is up to date to the latest industry leads. And instructors will provide daily hands-on support for all of the course material. In terms of our timeline, we are now reaching the final month of our acquisition and admission stage. The school will launch on December 13th, and that's when we will begin our 1-month-long basics and fundamentals stage. During this stage, you can choose to opt out from the program without any obligations, of course, beginning with 1 month of fundamentals, 6 months of core training, and 5 weeks of career accelerator training. And right after that, you'll begin your job search. So this is what a typical week looks like in our school. We built this way in a way that you can see the whole picture. So it is project-based learning that will help you set up a portfolio for your future job interviews. As you can see, you have theoretical lessons, practical exercises, live coding, Q&A, live lectures from industry experts, sprint opening and sprint retrospectives, career content, and many more. At this stage, it is important to know that even with all the support we provide, your personal commitment and grit are crucial for your career success. Work hard, put in the time, and you will get hired. So motivation plus time equals success. Moving on, I'd like to introduce you the content that will be taught throughout the course. I will give you some background on how and why we built the syllabus the way we did, and then give you an overview of the main subject we'll cover. I'll start by saying that the web development space is rapidly changing. New technologies and frameworks are released every day. Employees are always on the lookout for developers with a deep understanding of the programming language rather than a specific framework. And just as importantly, they are looking for employees that are independent learners, people that know how to learn. These qualities are in high demand because once you master a language and you know how to learn it, you're able to quickly adapt, understand, and take on new frameworks. At Masterschool, our goal is the same across all of our schools, and that is to train you to become valuable and capable employee from day one. That is why we design our curriculum to teach you how to learn, and to do so with a focus on deep understanding of JavaScript, the most prominent and fast-growing language in the ecosystem. We start with learning the fundamentals of the web by learning how to effectively create and structure a website using HTML and style it with responsive layouts using CSS. Then we start learning the ins and outs of the JavaScript, starting from how to use JavaScript and the DOM to dictate page content and interactions. We will continue to learn object-oriented programming to build applications with reusable and maintainable blocks of code, gain a better understanding of the functional programming paradigm, and get comfortable reading, writing, and thinking in asynchronous patterns. After we have a strong understanding of JavaScript, you start to learning the most prominent frameworks, starting with mastering the React frontend ecosystem. Once you finish the frontend portion, you'll proceed to learn how to build backend applications with Node in a way that is both scalable and maintainable. We will cover essential backend topics like databases and querying, API architecture, databases migrations, and root authorization. You will practice all these subjects while leveraging the TypeScript language and practice test-driven development with Jasmine for developer error reduction and good practices. Finally, we will finish with a capstone project, which will put all the skills you learned throughout the program into practice in an impressive project that you can showcase in your job search. Some subjects will take longer to grasp than others, but as long as you continue the path of learning with an immense amount of help and support that our guidance team will surely make it, I have no doubt. So basically, everyone can do it, really, seriously, as long as you will put the work. So the career accelerator, once you have completed the comprehensive training, you will join our career accelerator. It is a personalized program bringing each and every one of our students to the job search prepared. We will work very hard together, doing our best to make sure your journey to find the next career is successful. We put in our very best, but it is important to say that at the end of the day, the responsibility in this journey is yours. And in other words, you have to work hard to find work. During this stage, you will receive support from additional domain experts, career coaches, HR leads, industry partnership leads, tech mentors. You will meet the team of professionals at the beginning of the career accelerator and until you find a job. Each one of these professionals will work with you individually on their domain expertise. Here is the content teaser of some of our workshops and webinars. As you can see, the content is designed to provide you the skill set you need while you enter the industry in your new suit as a web developer. How is this done? By workshops, live webinars, one-on-ones, weekly squad meetings, designated mentor for each student, and many more. The timeline is divided into two. So firstly, 5 weeks of intense training, optimizing your soft skills, such as perfecting your CV, LinkedIn, GitHub, prep interviews, expanding your network effectively, and writing cover letter that will stand out and catch the recruiter's eye. And now you're ready to start a job search. And at this point, we will work closely with our industry relations leads, matching suitable industry opportunities per students. These opportunities vary from internships to junior positions in leading companies in the tech scene. And of course, ultimately landing a job. So guys, thank you very much for your presence and attention. We will now take some time to answer your many questions. Thank you all for your wonderful questions. We have exceeded our expectations for today's attendance and you guys sent in many questions. I'll begin by picking up the questions that were asked the most. We also have someone over answering some questions within the questions tab. And I urge you guys to send over any additional questions you might have at the end to the email address we'll provide you with. The first one is the program completely online? So yes, the program is completely online, yes, of course. Another good question is, what is the duration of the program? So the program is 7 months of training followed by 3 months of career accelerator, and then you will start your job search as a group. We of course offer you unlimited career support until you're hired. How much time should I expect to dedicate to the program? So the program requires a minimum of 25 hours per week. I'd like to say that many of our students work throughout this period and our support system and personnel accommodate this, so this won't be a problem. Okay, I have Cedric, I have a questions for you, I think. That's a good one. Can I work in the German market if I don't speak German?
Yes, you can. So there is a lot of developers needed for the German market that are not required to speak German all the time, but you are restricted. You are restricted to the businesses that accept non-German speaking partners. So yes, but also no.
Okay, to our next question. What happens if I quit my job? You will only have to make repayments when you're working. That means that if you stop working for any reason, the repayments will stop until you start working again, earning, as we said, more than 2.5K euros per month. Okay, Cedric, this is another one for you. What is the demand for web developers in Germany?
That largely depends. So it can be that's just like very fundamental knowledge of JavaScript and HTML and CSS. And it can be a very special need for like, I don't know, WordPress or React or like a special framework in React. But most of the developer or most of the open jobs that are in need for developers look for people that are highly flexible, that like to learn new stuff and that might fit to their business. So I think it's more open than one might think. And I think many businesses are okay with you not knowing what they need in advance, because you will anyways learn new stuff when you start working. So every company has their own business model, their own development style. And you won't be like only doing the things you learned here. You will 100% learn something new. They will work differently than you will do anywhere else. So yeah, but usually the requirements are either very high or very low, or yeah, very basic usually.
So another question. Okay, do I need to have a prior knowledge to apply? So basically no prior knowledge is needed. What we do look for is motivation, grit, and aptitude. However, it's important to note that you're expected to have basic computer literacy and in English proficiency. Sorry. How much does the program cost? So we'll cover your tuition until you get hired, as we said. This means that you'll pay your tuition only after you find a job, making more than 30,000 euros a year or 2,500 euros per month. Only then you will pay 10% of your income each month until you have fully paid your tuition cost of 12,500 euros. The total amount you will pay for the tuition will be from 0 to 12,500, depending on your income. 5 years, by the way, after you graduate, you won't need to make any additional payments, regardless of how much you already paid. So it means that if you didn't find a job any more than 30,000 euros per year, you pay 0 euros. How will I learn? In addition to the weekly schedule, let's say, of course, we have live classes and events. You will benefit from guided learning experience through the world's best training platforms for web development. So basically, our tailor-made curriculum was designed by Masterschool and Cedric himself for the most current industry needs, and will constantly update throughout the program, of course. Okay, we have here a good and a general question, but a good one. So basically, what is Masterschool? So again, Masterschool is a global network of success-based schools led by industry leaders. Our immense online training programs, personal mentorship, and robust industry network provide you with the skills you need to build a successful career in tech. You pay no tuition until you're hired, as we said.
And maybe if I might answer there are two more questions.
Okay.
Johannes writes that he wants to learn other programming languages as well afterwards, and how difficult it is to switch to other domains of software developing than web dev. It's not that hard because other development areas will also need the skills you learned from doing web development. So you're basically doing, for example, JavaScript, and then you're doing like front-end development, or you're doing full stack development, then you are switching to, I don't know, app development or software application development. Then you just need to learn a new language. You just need to learn their frameworks, but the coding itself remains the same. The tools will be familiar to you, and switching is not that hard anymore because it's all connected. It's all somewhere in between. So I think switching is not that hard, yes. Also, question to myself, how much does a software engineer earn per year? Someone writes anonymously. So this varies greatly. So there are software developers in Germany that earn like roughly 30,000 per year, but there are also software developers that earn more than 200,000 per year. So it largely depends where you're hired. So yeah, it depends on you. At the beginning, you will probably earn more like the 30K, but later on you can earn much more.
Thank you very much, Cedric. Thank you. To be honest, we're already in overtime, so I guess we'll wrap it up now. So again, thank you all for being with us. Please contact us in the email indicated in the slide for any further questions, and see you soon. Thank you all. Thank you, Cedric, again.
Thank you, guys.